In the Quran is a hidden miracle that when you guys find out about it and you apply it into your lives, it is going to transform your life for the better in every conceivable way. And so not only should you pay extra attention to this video, but you should spread it far and wide to benefit the entire ummah collectively, inshallah ta'ala. But first, I need to mention something that's very important. When you pick up any book written by a human being, you're going to benefit from it in terms of the information it gives you. So if I was to pick up a scientific textbook, for example, and I read it, I'm going to benefit from it scientifically speaking. And this applies for any other book in any other field. But when you pick up the words of your creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do you really think that you're only just going to gain information? Absolutely not. You're going to get far more than that. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in the Quran, وَهَذَا كِتَابٌ أَنزَلْنَاهُ مُبَارَكٌ. This is a Quran that we have revealed, which is a book of barakah, blessings. Linguistically speaking, from an Arabic language standpoint, Allah has made this barakah general. He's not specified what type of barakah you're going to get. Meaning that by interacting with this book, reading it, looking into its meanings, into its tafsir, reflecting upon it, pondering over it, you are going to find barakah in every aspect of your life. And the proof of that is many other verses where Allah specifies different types of barakah you get. And this is where it's going to get very, very interesting, so pay extra attention. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ مَا هُوَ شِفَاءٌ وَرَحْمَةٌ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَلَا يَزِيدُ الظَّالِمِينَ إِلَّا خَسَارًا. We send down the Quran as a healing and mercy for the believers. So here you have a specific type of barakah mentioned, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives healing and mercy for the believers. If the believers become ill, physically, spiritually, mentally, if they recite the Quran, they get a healing and mercy. But then Allah continues and He says, وَلَا يَزِيدُ الظَّالِمِينَ إِلَّا خَسَارًا. But it only increases wrongdoers more in loss. Very strange. You have two people reciting the exact same book, but you have two completely different outcomes. In another verse, Allah gives us a third outcome, where He says, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. This Quran, this book, there is no doubt about it whatsoever, and it is a guidance for those who are mindful of Allah, who have taqwa. So here you have the Quran acting as a guidance, as a healing, as a mercy, but it also pushes people further into loss. How do we explain this? The gem and the entire purpose of this entire video is that the Quran has a different effect depending on the person who's reading it, and at the root of why that's the case is the intention of the person who is reading it. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ, he said, وَإِنَّمَا لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَّا نَوَى. Everyone will have whatever they intended. So for example, if you have a believer who intends healing from this book, if they recite with that intention, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them healing. But when you have a notorious Islamophobe whose heart is filled with insincerity, and their only purpose of reading the Quran is to try and disprove it and extract from it faults, it's just going to push them further into loss, and they're going to be so deluded and think they're doing a good job, but realistically everything they say is just going to be garbage. Your intention when you recite the Quran matters big time. Some people, sadly, when they pick up the Quran, the only intention they have is, oh, this is such a burden. I can't wait to finish this page so that I finished my duty as a Muslim, so I can go back to doing whatever I was doing before. And so that person, they don't get much benefit from the Quran, and they find the Quran to, in fact, be a burden. But if you were to recite the Quran and you set a powerful intention before it, then know that you are, inshaAllah ta'ala, going to find barakah in that intention. So for example, if you make the intention before reciting the Quran that you want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to put barakah in your wealth, inshallah, if you're consistent with this intention, you are going to find that you become incredibly rich, inshallah ta'ala. If you become ill and you have a specific disease and you set a powerful intention and you recite the Quran with that intention over and over again, inshallah you will find a cure for that disease or illness. If you have a difficult relationship, maybe with your spouse or your family members, and you really want to improve it, Make the intention before reciting the Quran that you want barakah in your relationship, and inshallah your relationship will improve. If you want barakah in your time, you feel like that the hours are slipping away from you and you're not getting much done, make the intention that by reciting the Quran you want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to put barakah in your time, and you'll find day to day that you're getting so much more done with the same time that you have, the same 24 hours. If you find that you have any weaknesses whatsoever, mental weakness, anxiety, depression, physical weakness, you're not seeing any results in the gym, whatever it may be, make the intention before reciting the Quran that you want strength, and inshallah you will find barakah in your strength. The point is, the Quran is a book of general barakah, and so make the intention before you recite it and you will find that specific barakah inshallah ta'ala. So now I'm going to leave you with an action plan that you guys can act upon so that you can make the most out of it, inshallah. Step 1 is to pick a fixed time every single day. My recommendation is straight after Fajr, because in that time your mind is free and there's no busy schedule, nothing that's going to pull you left and right. That's my recommendation. Step 2 is I want you to make a solid intention. You know your wants, you know your needs. Make a solid intention. Step 3, I want you to recite 1 page of the Quran or more, but 1 page of the Quran at least, slowly and beautifully. Take your time, recite it beautifully. And then once you finish, if you don't understand Arabic, and even if you can't read Arabic, go to the translation of that page and recite. Just interact with the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Read the translation. Reflect on the meanings. What have I just read? What is Allah trying to tell me? Even dig into the tafsir if possible. And step 4 is to repeat the last 3 steps every single day for 6 months. And your final step, step 5, is to come back after these 6 months and to comment down below what you've noticed in your life for everyone else to see. And inshallah, we are all about to witness wonders in the comment section.